Alright, so final video today from Crazy Horse, riding all of the MV press, well not all of the MV press bikes, but a good selection. So I did the Turismo Veloce, which is more of a touring motorcycle, earlier in the day. Then the Dragster, which is a bit of a naked beast. And then I've saved the sportiest example for last today. So this is the F3 800. And obviously we've got like an out and out sports bike here, and it'll be pretty at home on the track. Today I'm just going to take it for a little bit of a spin around the roads here. But I think most people, if they're buying something like this, you're going to be looking at, you know, a few track days and really pushing it in that environment. You've got a couple of F3s in the MV Agusta range, the 675, which came before this bike, right? And this is, you know, a larger motor essentially in pretty much the same chassis. So you've got the feel of a very nimble sports bike there, but with much more power than that bike. So we've got 156 horses. What's the horsepower on the 675?
675 is 124.
124, put you on the spot, and you were not found wanting there. 87 newton meters of peak torque in this bike as well, but as I said, nice and light. 173 kilograms dry, I believe. So yeah, very nimble bike. We've had a lot of hype recently about the Ducati V4 having the counter-rotating crankshaft, but that's something that you've seen for donkey's years across all these MV Agusta bikes, and especially in a sports bike of this nature, you're going to be looking for the effects of that. So the general idea is that the crankshaft rotating in the opposite direction that you'd normally find it means that it's kind of counteracting the centrifugal force of the wheels, which should, in theory, make it more flickable. Obviously on this bike as well, you've got a full electronics package, so traction control, ABS are all adjustable, so is the throttle map, and you've got a bunch of rider modes, so there's pretty much everything there that you would expect. A quick word on how it looks as well. I personally, you know, you've got the RC model that's much more kind of race livery and looks very kind of sporty, but for me this is one of my favorite looking bikes that I've ridden today. Actually, I really like this white and grey paint job that is a little bit more muted, and just a little pop of red on the frame and on the wheels there, and I think it's lovely. Anyway, as always, enough talking from me, and let's just take it out for a spin.
Happy birthday.
I haven't really managed to find a good place to mount my second camera there, so probably all you can see is my leg or gut. But anyway, a little bit of a spin on this F3 800, a bit of a departure for my channel. Anyone who watches plenty will know that I usually stick to the sort of retros and cruisers and that kind of thing. Been riding this same route today. I think it's one of the routes that Crazy Horse suggests for their demo rides, so if you do get a chance to get down here and take a bike out, they'll give you a little map and you can follow this little triangular route, and it's really good. You've got some easy 30-mile-an-hour riding, and then get used to the bike and it opens up a bit, and there's a few good sort of twisty roads as well. I mean, if you want a full-on review of the extremes of this bike and how it can perform at its max, this probably isn't going to be it. It wouldn't be wise for me to absolutely flog this bike today. I think a track review is where you're going to get that kind of information, but I couldn't resist taking it out for a spin anyway, just to find out what it's like. The Dragster RR, which scared the crap out of me in the last video, I think it was because I had it in sport mode from the off, so I've just got this set to normal to ease myself in. The quick shifters on these MVs are just absolutely beautiful, and combined with that sound, any bike that meets noise regulations nowadays lacks a bit of bass, but this is one of the more meaty versus the other two that I've tried today, the Turismo Veloce and the Dragster. But yeah, combined with the quick shifter, you know, when you wind it on, you probably don't get great sound through the mic in my helmet, but just an absolutely beautiful sound that it makes. And it's I mean, today after riding all of these MVs back to back, it really has made me appreciate a triple, both the sound and the way it delivers the power. I've ridden the Triumph triples before and really enjoyed those, but I think the MV has a bit of its own its own character. And with the noise regulations nowadays, they've done a really bloody good job of keeping the engine quiet. So really what you get is exhaust note. Triumphs, you get a lot more of a whir from the motor. You know, it's that signature whining noise which people like, and you know, myself included, there's something to appreciate about that. But to my ear anyway, the MV, you seem to get a bit more from the silencers and a bit less from the motor. I don't know if it's me, but this 800 seems a little bit more tame than the Dragster, or a little bit easier to get along with. That could be down to me. I mean, I was assuming that the Dragster was just like any other naked I've ridden, but I think it's a bit more pokey. Whereas this, because it's a sports bike, I'm treating it with a bit more respect. But oh my goodness. That said, the brakes are a lot sharper on this bike and haul it up much quicker. The riding position, I mean, obviously out of all the bikes I've ridden today, if you've watched the previous videos, you know, this is the most extreme. But that's probably what you want from a bike like this, something sporty. I don't find it too uncomfortable for this quick blast, but I think for anything longer, I don't even think it's worth discussing really. I mean, anyone who buys this bike, they're not buying it for comfort over long miles, they're just buying it because they want a fast Italian rocket ship. I guess it's just how you ride it, this bike. If you keep it in the low to mid revs, it's really quite a nice tame bike to ride, but drop a gear and then woo! I mean, a short test ride video like this isn't gonna be something that convinces someone to go and buy a bike like this. But if you're even considering it, I would just thoroughly recommend getting down here to Crazy Horse and taking one out for a spin. I'd be more than happy to oblige, and it's a really quite something to ride, this bike.